I'm Angeli Beltran. I work in Mead Johnson Nutrition. I take care of digital and CRM for Asia Pacific. I live in Singapore now for 6 years. And before that, I was just telling Seb, I've been in the agency business for the last 20 years. So stop doing the math because you'll figure out how old I am. I started work when I was 10. I'm not just kidding. So what I'm going to talk to you about is something called persona. And I think Nick has set it up very well. We need to understand our brand and what we're trying to give, offer as a value to our consumers. But the first thing we need to do is really understand what that value is. And it's really going in the skin of the people who will choose our brand or not. Okay, so that's why it's so important for us to really understand who he is or who she is. But before I go there, and I know it's a rainy day, I think we should start with a little activity. Yeah, you're up for that? Yeah? Okay, so this is easy. Just choose a partner. So between the two of you and your partner, choose one who will be the creator, okay, and one who will be the customer. Okay, let's do that right now. Look at your customer really hard. Yeah? Customer, you're not allowed to talk in this part, okay? Customer, just keep quiet. But creator, design a chair for your customer. Customer, okay, go. 30 seconds.
So when you say design one, you mean draw one, right?
Yeah, draw one.
Draw the perfect chair.
Draw the chair. Okay. Good. Now just set aside that drawing. Don't show your customer yet. Just, set aside. I know you're eager to show your beautiful designs because we're going to have a second part. Take another piece of paper, creator. And for the second part, this time you get to talk to your customer. Now ask your customer these things. You can ask more if you want. What do you see yourself doing in this chair? How do you feel when you use this chair? What do you want to do? What would you like to have as features in this chair? How does this chair make you feel? Come on, 1 minute. So what I wanted to ask you is for the customer to choose one of those chairs that you've drawn. Okay, I want to hear from the creators. Creators, how was the experience like when you drew the first chair versus the second chair?
I knew my client before designing the chair, so I had some idea of the features that the chair might offer beforehand, because we're friends, obviously. And then based on the new information that I had, I made adaptations to the chair. So it was kind of one design that merged into another based on the consumer's needs. And Andy, did I hit the target?
Yeah, it was a bed, basically.
Okay.
See, from a chair to a bed. Very good, thank you. So I think that's how many marketers sometimes think. Like sometimes we think we know what our customers want, right? We just tell them, you want this, you want that, and just bombard them with all that information. But the difference is we really need to know what the customer wants from us, because that's the only way we can add value. By understanding what they need, what they aspire for, what they're anxious about, what problems we're trying to solve, and you've experienced it. And just very simple exercise. Of course, in real life, there's a lot more other things we need to think about. But I think what I'd like you to leave with is how important it is to really understand. And sometimes you think you know, but more often than not, you don't. Okay? So a persona is really that. It's really a portrait of a segment of your audience that allows you now to really empathize with that audience so that you can better understand their needs. When I say empathize, it's really walking in the shoes of this consumer. Because if we're trying to add value, we need to really understand what's it like to be him or her? What problem does he need to solve? What issues does he face? Where can we come in to help? Because if we don't have any relevance, as we said, 8 seconds, right? In 8 seconds, the consumer will say, Is this relevant to me or not? Is this useful to me or not? And you know how consumers decide, right? They decide with their thumbs. Yes, 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 yes. Oops, stop. Hey, that looks interesting now. Oh, stupid. Oh, this one I'm going to look at, right? That's how fast that decision is made. For content marketing, we need personas to help deliver the most relevant and useful content to our audience. So I'm not going to go through this because we have a sound problem, but just wanted to share with you who Mead Johnson is for those who don't know. How many are mothers here? Mothers? Mothers? Okay. So all of you are my future customers. So I think you should all go to the Italian gelato shop soon. So we provide nutrition for children to give them the best start in life. So the idea was created by Edward Mead Johnson, who's our founder. He had a very sick child who couldn't eat. So because his kid was starving, his kid was getting sick, he created this formulation that helped his kid get better, get more nutrition, and he decided that he wanted other kids to have it too, and that's how our business started. Okay? So our vision, my vision in my team, is to be the #1 brand recommended by moms. And that's a very challenging goal because a mom will not recommend us unless they really believe in us, believe that we're the best for her child, and share that with others. So it's important for us to get the most number of moms to use us and advocate us. Those moms we directly engage with, so there's always TV, right? Everybody will watch TV. Everybody will see our TV ad. But those moms we engage with directly with our content and talk about her and how we're going to help her, they are 3 times more likely to use our brand more than others. 3 times. So when we engage with them and invite them to engage with us in our program, those who are part of our CRM program are 3 times more likely to buy our brand than anybody else. And that's how important it is. But again, it's going back into walking in the shoes of this mom. I like this brand, I love this brand because motherhood is such an exciting time for a woman's life, in a woman's life. It's filled with the most joy, the most hope, the most fear, most frustration. It's about, am I doing the right job? One mom says, I wish my child came with a how-to manual. It would have been made it much easier, but it's also the most fulfilling. And so when we ask ourselves, who is our target audience? This is what sometimes briefs have. 25 to 35 years old, first-time mom, urban female, mobile is her umbilical cord, she has it all the time, uses Facebook and Google, and wants the best for her child. What's wrong with this? Is this going to give you any ideas of what to do to converse with her, to share, like your chair? Would you be able to design a chair for this person? No, right? And that's exactly why we've looked at the mom more deeply and looked at her persona. And so what we found was we have 2 kinds of moms, actually. So I'd like you to meet May. May is the achiever mom. And meet Judy. Judy is the playful mom. So there's a difference between these 2. They both are the same profile. They love their children to death. They want only the best for their children, but the way they go about motherhood is very different. So let's start with May. And up there is how, May represents the way her motherhood journey is like. I will do whatever it takes, and I will do whatever I can to help my child reach his highest potential. This is a mom who wants the child to be better than her child's peers. And she's not going to say that. She's not going to say that out loud. She's actually, when we talk to her, she says, every parent can parent the way they want, but you know what? My child won the best baby in this magazine contest. It's the healthiest baby. Or, my child was able to play a piano piece for a 12-year-old and to think he's only 8. Okay, that's her. She's really proud and she wants her child to have her fullest potentials. So the way she goes about motherhood is very planned. She focuses on progress. So what she does is she always compares, is my child developing the right way? Is my child supposed to be talking by now? Oh good, my child is already walking. My neighbor's child's not yet, they're the same age. Okay. She takes a really active role in her child's development. And she researches, she plans, she measures. Her best friend is Google. Yeah? How am I going to, what are we going to do today so that my child can play and then learn at the same time? What are her aspirations? She wants her child to excel. She wants her child to be the best. And her anxieties are, I need to know if my child is developing as he should for this age that he's in. Her joys at school today, Henry helped out his classmates by leading the group on how to build a rocket. That's her joy. Really proud. Now let's look at Judy. Judy, 25 to 35, urban female, loves her child to death, but her wish is something different. I want my child to have a childhood filled with joy and fun experiences. I want my child, when he grows up, to say, my mom was such a fun mom. We had so much fun. She wants a child to experience childhood filled with fun and spontaneity. She focuses on creativity and keeping things exciting. She gives her child freedom to play and enjoy. She seeks very simple solutions. She doesn't like unnecessary words. She's just really relaxed mom, this one. She doesn't like Google very much. She doesn't need Google too much. But she likes Facebook. Why? She gets a lot of ideas from other moms. Oh, this is what we did this weekend. Hey, this is a creative way of, creating your lunchbox for the day. So her aspirations are, I want my child to embrace new experiences. Anxieties, I want to know that he's getting complete nutrition because I want him to be healthy so that he can go out and play. Joyce, we really had fun today playing in the rain. So, again, 2 moms, very different. So with your partner, what I'd like you to do is think up 5 topics you will create for one of the mom personas. So maybe just so that it's easier, let's split the room. This room will take Judy, and this room will take May. So just think of 5 topics. Okay, so let's hear from May. Who wants to share his 5 topics?
So something like 7 ways to make your child successful.
Great. What else? So financial education, child psychology, how to make your child successful. Okay, let's ask about Judy. What would Judy be interested in?
Healthy, happy lunch packs.
Oh, very nice.
So really creative sandwiches.
Great. Yep, very good ideas. Give yourselves a big hand. But how was that exercise for you? It was easy, right? It was easy to come up with these ideas. Because why? Because you know who they are. If I had just given you the 25 to 35, I was like, okay, what? Okay? So I'll show you some of the stuff we're doing for May. So 5 ways to help your child achieve more. We have an app which is called a milestone tracker. She puts in the child's name, date, birth, and all of that. And then it automatically, every day or every week, as she sets it up, tells you, by this day, your child should be walking or saying hello or smiling. And then she'll check. But for her, that's relevant. For Judy, it's like, it's too much trouble. I don't care. My child's happy, right? How do you stimulate healthy brain development? Okay, these are just some of the content for May. These are the content for Judy. Entertainment for kids. How do you make the bento box fun? You know, we really design. So it's a great idea. We're doing that. How do you make nice sandwiches for Halloween, for Christmas? This is Judy Ann. She's a very famous actress in the Philippines, and she has a blog, and she talks about all the things she's doing with her child and how she makes things fun. And here's nourishment activities, backyard camping, scrapbook walk. So a lot of active, fun activities. Okay? If you look at as well the search keywords, look at the difference. May would look for 3-year brain development, baby brain development. Which week of pregnancy? Pregnancy. She's already thinking about her child's brain. Mead Johnson's baby contest. Rate of neuron growth in fetus during pregnancy. And these are real search keywords, okay? I'm not making this up. Judy, easy recipes for picky toddlers. Recipe for a lactum milkshake. So she's gonna use our brand and make a milkshake out of it. Amazing, that's really great content that now we can create, right? She's looking for it. Oh, we'll make those milkshake recipes now. Fluffy toast tips for breakfast. So you can see the difference, right? So I think for me, by understanding your personas, you can create content that's relevant to her. And you don't have to worry about whether she's gonna skip or not. Because when you give her something that's of value to her, and it's about you really understanding what she wants and what she needs, she's gonna eat it all up and watch all of it, and even subscribe to it, which is what our customers do. They subscribe, they email us and say, please sign me up, I wanna know more. And that's where the beauty is. Now we start building a relationship, okay? And so just to give you my last slide, creating personas is about empathy. Who she is, what represents her, what her aspirations, fear, anxieties, what does she want to achieve, what does she want to solve, where does she get the solution today, and more importantly, how can your brand be of help? Okay, and that's all for me. Thank you very much.